What's going on, Fast Turn Radio watchers, listeners, replay catchers, gompers? What's up, man? It's been a while. Guys, I missed you. Between not having shows because of travel plans, and I did kind of the scan van thing up in Massachusetts with Chris Green, uh, Matt, and Todd. Matt Kelly, Todd Forster. Blanked on their last names for a second. Sorry about that. So that was like one Wednesday is when I traveled back from that. And then we did the special Tuesday edition of Fast Turn Radio where we had our guest, Eric and Dan, with their wholesale course that just launched, which I'm really excited to help them launch. That was exciting. Best course out there that I've seen. Just no doubt about it. So anybody who got in, congratulations for getting in. If you did not get in, maybe there will be opportunities in the future, but that was great stuff. And then the Wednesday, I think I was traveling like that Wednesday. I was on vacation another Wednesday. So suddenly it's been like 3 Wednesdays and I haven't been around. So we did do one show in between, but it just seems like I haven't been able to talk to you guys one-on-one for a long time. And believe it or not, I kind of like that. As nice as it is to have guests, sometimes I like to get on here and just kind of air my mind, share my thoughts with you guys, and just get the feedback one-on-one without the guests being here. So while it's nice to have guests every now and then, it's kind of nice to get back to the regular format of just you and me. So thank you to the 36 people who are in attendance. I know it was short notice and nobody really knew what the schedule was, but still an awesome turnout. So thank you guys for being here. And so what we're going to cover in this episode of Fast Turn Radio, I guess is what we call it. Episodes, show, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to do the road to 500K. Get you updated. We're almost through half the year is just about gone. Well, I guess we'll have to do a half year, mid-year recap or something next week, because that will be the half the year point. But anyway, we'll update the road to 500K. Got some Father's Day insights and some back to school preparation. I'm big on seasonal selling, guys. I got to tell you, and I'm going to show you the proof, not just sales, but actual profit numbers, what you can expect just on a very small scale. So had I expanded this, which I intend to do next year, could have literally made thousands of dollars in just a couple of days. So very excited to get to all that. So let's see let me get you a little caught up on why shows have been spotty just for a second. Like I said, we had the scan van adventure that was like June 1st and 2nd. Family went on vacation pretty much right after that. I think we left on, I don't know, the 12th or something. Came back right before Father's Day. So it must have been we left before the 12th. I don't even know what day we left. But we came back on like the 18th. So we were gone for a good 10 days. Maybe we left on the 7th. Or, I don't know. Been a while. But we were on vacation. Let me say this. If you're starting your business, you get no vacation. Okay? It's just the way it is. That first year, basically, you don't get a vacation. The second year and beyond, you better be taking vacations, because we don't do this stuff to work year-round, day after day after day. We do this for fun. As much as we do it for money, hopefully you're having fun while you do it. And that's why I do it. So to not take vacation, not to spend time with the family, to me, that would be silly. Does that mean that you have to stop working? No, you can work ahead of time and prepare for some of that so that there's not as much lag while you're gone or as much when you get back. I'm actually finding it harder to keep my sales up now that I'm back than it was when I left, because I did a lot of prep before I left, but then 2 weeks later, nothing's been sent in. You can start to feel things, selling through, and I got to get that kind of reprime the pump. But sales actually increased while we were gone, which was awesome. Father's Day played a big part into that. And again, I'll get into that a little later. But guys, seriously, take vacations. And summertime is great, in my opinion, especially if you have kids, because the kids are home. Hopefully your wife can either take time off, or like mine, she's a school teacher, so she's got the summer off. Sales, some people say it's slow. Some are having record months. So I don't know exactly where your sales are, but it's kind of the last chance that you have before we start to ramp up for Q4. Because I promise, after about August, there is not a chance you're going to want to take a day off. Late August, September, October, that's all that Q4 prep that's going to help you start kicking butt as you carry on into the actual teeth of Q4. So, the summertime to me is just that perfect time. I don't really want to take time earlier in the year. The kids are still in school, the wife's work and all that kind of stuff. But man, give me June and July. I don't do a lot of work. You definitely saw that in my numbers last year. Now I've corrected some things so that the numbers didn't fall as much this year, but it's important to take that time with the family. I mean, that's why we do this. So keep that in mind as you're working and as you're building up your business. If you're to a point where it can sustain you taking a week off or a couple of weeks off, do it. Take some downtime now, because when you get back to work in July, August, man, it's pedal to the metal right on through the end of the year. Next thing you know, it's going to be January, February, and we're going to be right back to where we are now. So those years fly by, and don't be afraid it just bothers me. I've seen too many people saying, I don't want to take time off. I don't want to let my business slip. I don't want to. Man, why not? Not that I want your business to slip, but enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the freedom, and set yourself up for success ahead of time, and then you can really kick back. And there's nothing like making more money than when you left while you're just kicking back. We went to Vermont, where my family's at. So, we were in a mountain resort, had the ski slopes. Of course, it's summertime now, but you could still see the ski slopes all cut out in the mountain. And that was literally our back window. Like, we opened up the back and it had a little balcony and stuff. And it was just looking at that mountain. It was absolutely beautiful. So we spent a couple of days traveling up, a day in DC, went to the zoo, saw some of the museum. That's what it was. Didn't see many monuments, but we went to the zoo, went to the museum in DC, and then we continued our drive up to Vermont, spent about 5 or 6 days there, spent a couple of days coming back, and then just recovered for the weekend, because that was a long drive. I got to tell you, we drove up and drove back, and it was a whole lot of hours, about 20 hours drive time. So that was a little rough, but anyway, so that gets you a little bit caught up on what we've been up to. Agu says, work your butt off and send 2 weeks worth of inventory and just kick back and relax and enjoy vacation. Exactly, Agus. You get it, man. Eric says, recharging the batteries and taking time to appreciate the freedom that being your own boss has become an art that I've mastered. Awesome. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if I wanted to be a slave to AT&T and take time off, I mean, they gave me 4 weeks plus I think it was 8 paid days maybe. So I ended up having 5.5 weeks off when you count all the individual days. But man, I was kind of fighting for those days off and this and that. So, there's no reason. So if I just wanted time off, I had AT&T. Well, that's not my goal. I take less time off now than I did then, but I enjoy my time a lot more now. I get to pick and choose when it is, and I get to take maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of days just whenever I feel like it. And yeah, you recharge those batteries, man. That's it. You're feeling a little run down, recharge those batteries. So yeah, Gomper says exactly what I plan to do come January vacay. So there you go. That's it. Just plan ahead of time and then enjoy. When you go on vacation, you guys didn't see me on Facebook much. You guys, even in my coaching group, I know poor guys, they paid money to be there, and they probably think I've totally abandoned them, which is not the case, but I did for the last couple of weeks because, man, I was on vacation. I was very hard to get a hold of. There were only a few things that I posted. A couple of times I checked in here and there, but for the most part, I let the world just revolve or not around me, without me. The world went on without me. And imagine that. It was still here when I got back. So, all right, Chris says, sadly, I was not able to get this FBA thing fully ramped up before my most recent job ended, so it's back to the rat race and looking for a new gig. Sorry to hear that, Chris. Man, got to get that ramped up. It does not take a lot to get going these days, so if you need some help, let us know. That's what this community is here for. Not sure which Chris that is. I know there's quite a few of them out there in the Facebook groups, but if you need some help, man. Maynard. Okay, I thought maybe that was you. Yeah, it is not Chris Green. We all know better than that. What's up, Leron? Chris, if there's anything we can do, man, hit us up. You got to, I'm going to steal something that I heard from KIB, or actually I heard from Chris Green that KIB said to him. So here's a little knowledge kind of through the pipeline. You need at least 2 out of 3 things to be successful. You need money, you need time, you need networking, okay? 2 out of those 3, you can be successful. I thought that was brilliant because I always talk about you either need time or money, but networking is another big one. So, you know, if you've got at least 2 out of those 3, if you've got networking and you've got money, hey, if time is tight, that's okay. You can work around it, and you know, however you want to mix those together. But that is a 3-legged stool for success. I tell you, it really is. If you've got those 3 things, or at least 2 out of those 3, you can make it. You've got the networking, Chris. We're all here, so you can hit up me. You can hit up pretty much anybody in this chat room, I would imagine, at any time, and they will help you. Nobody wants to see a fellow seller go back to the rat race if that's not what they want. Now, if you love your job, if you want to go, you know, and just do this part-time, that kind of thing, then, hey, you know, I'm not going to hold that against you. Awesome. I'm glad you love your day job. I did not. Most people in here did not. So if that's not what you want, let us help you as much as we can. If there's anything, any small little hurdle we can help you get over, if there's something specific that you need help with, hit somebody up, ask them what, you know, how did you do this? I'm stuck here. I want to get to there. How do I do it? So don't be afraid to use that network of people. I recognized your name. I know you. You know, I don't know you personally, but I definitely know your name. You've been around in the group, so people are going to know you. Don't be afraid to reach out to them. So Chris says, yeah, I had a job interview for a position paying $83 an hour today. So with any luck, that will be able to feed the beast nicely. That's true. $83 an hour is a nice paycheck, sir. I don't deny that one bit. That would be tough to turn down. Would I do it? You betcha, because you can't buy this guy right here. Just not going to happen. But if that's the position you're in, man, I hope you get 83. I hope you get 183. That is freaking awesome. That is a big freaking payday. So awesome job, man. All right. So the road to 500K, let's go ahead and hit on that. We got some little bit of movement with all that where it's concerned. Just got to get logged in. So Chris, I do wish you luck, man. I hope you get the job, and I hope you kill it at that job, and I hope that it leads to more opportunities and feeding the beast and whatever else the future holds for you that you want. That's what this stuff's all about. It's about what you guys want. It's not what I want. It's not what Leron wants. It's what we, the individuals, want, and this group can help you get there. All right. The road to 500K. Let's see. We need to share our screen. See, it's been a while. I forget where my buttons are. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Hopefully you guys all see the screen. You see where our I always show you kind of the snapshot of what's going on. Yes, I know that's not profit, blah, 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 all that crap. I still see it in the group. Still drives me nuts to this day. Cannot stand the profit question. Just take it with take it at 20% is the best I can tell you. If you see somebody has 30,000 in sales, as we do, 20%, $6,000 profit is a fair estimate. That's the best I can tell you. These profit questions, man, crazy. We had a nice payout the last time. Finally got his $10,000 payout outside of Q4. I was excited about that. We're about a quarter of the way through our next disbursement because it's every other Friday. So we're about halfway through this week. So we are at 3,000. We may hit 10,000. I really don't think we will, but it's going to be a little bit slower just because there is a delay in getting things restocked after the vacation. And I just got to get out there and get my butt back to hustling and go source some product. But let's look at the reports. And you'll see. Okay. And here, but as I tell you that profit question drives me nuts, let me lay this one on you. What's that noise? That's my phone. I was getting a text message. Brett Bartlett actually texted me. I don't know if you guys know Brett, but He's a good guy. He's the one that introduced me to FBA. So here's today's sales. And you kind of take that with a grain of salt, because see, yesterday, 569. Now, last week, we had a good day last week at 1,400, but that was leading into the Father's Day rush. So that was a little inflated. We're running about 1,000 a day. But yesterday, 500, I noticed things were slow. I got up about 4:30 this morning. Okay, hang on. I got to stop for a second and answer Karina. Karina, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Stevenson says, I think the profit questions are okay to ask because if there are new people, then they may not be informed as to the average percentage, and seeing the large numbers may be misleading to them. Yes, it may. And, you know, that that is a fair assessment. My personal opinion, I want to share my numbers with you. I'm going to share my numbers. If I want to share profits, I'll share profits. If I don't, I won't. It's none of your business anyway, honestly. So be glad that I'm sharing anything with you. That I know that sounds a little hostile, but that's how I feel about it. These people are willing to show you their stuff. They're willing to show what they have done. And for whatever reason, they said, I'm going to open up my books to you to some extent. And then you turn around and say, well, yeah, well, what's your profit? I don't know. What's yours? You know? So I know that's a little edgy, and I don't mean this to be mean towards you, but it really does strike a big nerve with me that I am willing to sit here and open up my page, show you guys exactly what's sitting in my account right now, what the sales look like in our business. And then somebody's going to go, well, what's your profit? Well, I'll share if I feel like it, which I'm going to do tonight in part. So, you know, but don't expect that from people. And if someone is new and that's the case, that they don't understand, then I don't know. I guess it's a question that comes up, but man, it just strikes a nerve with me. I guess I've been answering that question for a long time, and I just get tired of it because it comes across as snide way too often versus the new seller who says, okay, well, I'm new and I don't really understand all this. What's the profit? A lot of the time I see it as, well, what's your profit? And I just hear this little snarky voice in my head that drives me nuts. So that's my response. Maybe okay with most of you, maybe not. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. That's how I take it. All right. So anyway, but I will throw this out there because it's kind of funny, ironic, flip side of the coin, the 1,600, almost meaningless. All right. It is not a good day, despite the big sales numbers. So I'll go the other side of the coin. I woke up at 4:30 this morning. I saw sales were a little slow yesterday. I started thinking Stephen Smotherman is coming out with a new book, which I started reading yesterday. Hopefully I'm going to get to finish before he needs the beta readers to give all the replies. I'm working on it. But anyway, he wrote a book, and I'm not going to give too much away, but he mentioned something in there about long-term storage fees. And it kind of rung a bell with me. I was like, yeah, you know, a lot of what he's saying is making sense. So again, without getting into it, I don't want to give away stuff from his book, but it made me start thinking about long-term storage fees and the fact that they're coming up in just a couple of months. So I started looking at 4:30 this morning, not a lot going on. Decided to start looking through my stale inventory that was sent in before February, because anything sent in before February 15th is going to be subject to long-term storage fees at the mid-year point. Now, instead of the 12-month, it's going to be at the 6-month. Long-term storage fees are going to kick in August 15th. So if it was sent in before February 15th, you're going to be assessed long-term storage fees on August 15th. So I went ahead and started to look through my inventory, my stale inventory, and I started dumping it. I was like, this stuff, some of it was from November that just didn't sell in Q4. Some of it was, you know, maybe January, early February items that I sent in. And I just know they're not going to sell before August. So I'm either going to pay long-term storage fees on them. Oh, yeah, Stephen Smotherman. Sorry. Stephen Smotherman has a book coming out fairly soon. Yeah, Bob Willie says, now is the time to reprice aggressively on long-term storage fees. Yeah, I don't want to wait until the last minute. Okay, so I will. That's something that Stephen put in his book, and it wasn't exactly that, but that was what got my wheels turning. I was like, I don't want to wait till the last minute. I don't want to try to dump this stuff on August 10th. That is not the time that I want to try to get rid of my junk. So I went through and I started looking at my junk from, anywhere from about November was the oldest stuff I had through November through early February. And that's what I got rid of. That's what I dumped. The book is not out yet. He gave a copy for review and feedback to a few people. So we do not have a price on it as far as I know. If you know a price, throw it out there, buddy. So in long-term storage fees, just so we're clear, only applies to items that you have more than one of in stock. All right. So if you only have one of the item in stock, it is not subject to long-term storage fees. If you have two or more of that item in stock, then it is. And in the same condition. So it's got to be the same product in the same condition for the booksellers or used product sellers out there. For new sellers, if you have two or more, it's all new condition, you're going to be subject to the fees. Anyhow, the report is in inventory health, correct? The inventory health gives you one, and then there's also one that is suggested for removal report. So that's another good one. And I can post those in the coaching group or in Fast Turn Radio. I'll post them in both. I know where the reports are, just not off the top of my head, and don't really want to go digging too much into my sales stuff while I got the thing up on camera. But anyway, yeah. So today, $1,600. Normally, I'd be ecstatic about that. I know it's really just I probably lost money today. Really, see. So that there you go with the profit thing. Usually it's 20%. Normally I would look at that and go, I made about $320 today. Fact is, if I'm lucky, I broke even because there is about $500 or $600 in legitimate sales. There's about $1,000 in just crap sales that I lost money in. It's the way it goes. Not a big deal. Not to me anyway. I'm going to dump that stuff. I got some big wholesale opportunities coming up. Believe it or not, we're coming into July. That's going to lead us into the back to school, Halloween, Thanksgiving, right into the heart of Q4, guys. So I'm not into holding on to inventory at this point that I cannot sell at Q4. Want to get rid of it. Got to dump and run sometimes. Yes, sir. Rob Walling, what's going on? So that's where things stand in the month, the daily. Let's take a look at month to date. I'm going to take you off screen just for a second. It may have timed out on me. So just in case, just in case I got to log back in. So bear with me for just a second. Not trying to pull anything funny, just trying. All right, there we go. Just don't want to have to go through the login and all that. There we go. Share screen. Okay, so hopefully you see my screen back up. So you see the month to date through June 24th. We're 26.4 on the month. Last month we did 30,000, so we are looking good month over month. You see, same month last year was 6,000, which was just talk about taking a month off. I took the month off. Oh, hang on. I just hit the wrong button. Do not want to hit the unmute all. You want to keep it on mute all. That was not a good click. All right. So that's our month to date, 26,000. Last year, the month was 6,000. We've done just slightly better than that. Let's look at the year to date. To get an accurate year over year, we want to do a custom instead of the year to date because that'll just show. Oh, come on. If we did a year to date, it would just show all of last year. Instead, I want the same period last year. So right now, as of June 24th, we are at 137,774. So 130, we'll nudge it up to 138,000 just to make the numbers round. Last year at this time, we were at 57,000. So much better than twice as much as last year. We more than doubled it. So yeah. Bob says I am just over 2x year-to-date numbers too. So very cool. Good job. Way to go, Bob. Yeah, so we're up 2x on last year. I'm happy about that. As most of you guys know, we finished last year at just over 200,000, and our goal is 500,000. So 2 times. I think we're cranking. We're in good shape. Got to keep it going, but I'm liking where things are headed. So that's our road to 500K. Yeah, are there any questions? I don't think, yeah, party line. That is what it sounded like. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Ellen said top 20 categories, please. All right. Now I can do that for any date range that you want. If you want it for the, shoot, that's where we need it. There's our top 20. So we'll even scroll so you guys can see that. So for the year, it's been all over the place. There is hardly a category that I am approved for that I have not sold in. If there is one, honestly, I don't know what it is. I think I've sold in every category that I am approved in. That is the year to date. Now, if you want to see the month to date, see what's been going on more recently, I can show you that. Yeah, one truck horn. That's right. The one automotive truck horn right there that we sold for $57.95. I think it paid $16 for it. Yes, that was my one Amazon to Amazon flip. So yeah, and all other categories is one. So I don't even know what the other category is, but it must be something. All right, let's see how we're doing on the month. All right, month to date. There you go. You can see the categories we've sold in. Sorry, the puppy wanted to come in. So, everything from kitchen and grocery toys right on down the line to well, no, not the automotive in this one, but outdoors. We sold one outdoor product so far this month. All right, May just exploded. What did you change? That's a good question. What changed in, I don't know, I'd probably have to go back and listen to my own replays. Let's just go back to January. May just exploded. Okay. Yeah, we're running, I think about, see, now you make me want to go through and just do like month by month. Couple of things changed right in here. One was more wholesale. The networking kind of took effect. If you remember back in, what was it? I believe in March, I did some networking at the Providence conference, the mini conference. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. Too many thoughts going on. Yeah, back here in March, there was a mini conference with Scan Power, and I met a lot of good sellers. It was great. It was about 100 people at it, just all top-notch people. They paid a big ticket price to be there, and that helped get a lot of juices flowing. And then right here in April, I met up with some of those guys again, and that started a relationship that really helped. That was with the Young Guns. That's when I met Matt and Todd. They were two of the big ones. Met Matt and Todd in March, and then I met them again, or saw them again, I guess, in April. And they have helped my business tremendously. I also started to work with Dan and Eric and get some of the big wholesale cranking that, I was doing some wholesale on my own and having good success with it. They helped me have much better success with it. So that was a big jump. And so that helped tremendously. So it was the networking, it was the increased wholesale, it was getting my butt into stores, doing some RA on top of that. Eric, is that Eric Lambert that's saying yay? Is that you? All right, Eric. See, I didn't even know Eric was listening in. I saw Eric L. I wasn't sure. There's a few different Eric L's floating around out there too. Yeah, so I started working with Dan and Eric, and they helped tremendously, and that has grown since then. And then you see this spike right here that starts to come in, and that's actually the Father's Day spike that I'm going to get to in the next couple of minutes. So I would say that's the biggest thing. We were running a steady kind of 20,000, 15, 20,000. And then we kicked up to that 30,000 mark that we've been holding pretty steady at. Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy. No, don't worry about repeating yourself. If I don't see your question, please ask it again, because there's no good way for me to see every question. So no, by all means, please repeat yourself. Are your kitchen and grocery items mostly purchased wholesale? Yes, absolutely. Almost, not quite, but almost exclusively wholesale in those two categories. So, yep. Toys, I have very little wholesale. I do have some wholesale in toys, but grocery and kitchen being my two of my three biggest categories are wholesale. So very helpful. I have very little wholesale outside of that. There's some here and there. But for the most part, those are my two big wholesale categories. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Yeah, guys, if there's a question that you asked, I did not ignore you. If it's a question I'm going to ignore, I will tell you I'm not going to answer that. So if I don't answer your question, please ask it again. I probably didn't see it. So anyway, that's the numbers. Any other questions about the road to 500K, the year-to-date, month-to-date categories we're selling in, wholesale, retail, whatever, where we're getting the stuff? We get all of our stuff from sources. There, I let the big secret out of the bag. Yep, we have sources for everything we buy. Keep that in mind. You get sources, you buy stuff, you make money. Did you have to be a big seller? No, not at all. No, some of the stuff that Dan and Eric helped me get, yes, because they are big sellers, they are huge sellers. I was able to get in on some price breaks that I would not have been able to get on my own. But what I was doing before that, I did not need those price breaks. So you kind of see where, yeah, it helps to be a big seller. That's where you kind of take that next step, get to that next level. It does help to have more connections and be able to go in on buys and that kind of thing. But you can definitely do it on your own as well. Duane, do you have a website? I'm getting asked that a lot from wholesalers. I have not been asked that a lot. No, I don't have a website. I may have somebody set one up just for the heck of it, but I don't know. It has not been an issue for me, because where I have run into people saying, well, you need your own website, it was followed by, because we don't want you selling on Amazon. Well, that doesn't do me any good anyway. So, and that was from one company. It was, I forget who it is off the top of my head. Anyway, it's when we had our own website, when we were doing the children's bookstore and we wanted to sell their games. And they said, well, do you sell on Amazon? I said, I do a little bit. That's when I first started. I said, I do a little bit, but we're going to sell these primarily through our own website. They said, no, not primarily. You have to sell through your own website. We have exclusive agreements. You cannot sell on Amazon. So that was the only time it ever came up. I get that question a lot, though, so I guess other people are running into it quite a bit. Mindy says, remember, it's not just about being a big seller. It's about networking. Duane always puts himself out there and to help everyone. When you help others, others want to help you. Mindy, that is so true. I did not expect anything in return when I started this show. I just thought it was kind of fun to do. But, yeah, people have come to me and said, hey, you're kind of sucking with your numbers. We want to see you make the 500,000. And they have stepped forward. Gompers has helped me out. My mastermind group has helped me out. The young guns and Dan and Eric, and yeah, the networking has all come together, and it's been amazing. So yeah, get to know people, talk. These guys are open. That's another reason I wanted people to get in on the wholesale group, was not just for the information, which is absolutely fantastic. get to know Dan and Eric and how they do things, and maybe go in on buys with them to get to the next level. It was an amazing opportunity. It will come around again at some point, I am sure. I feel bad if anybody was on the fence and decided not to do it. All right, if you have the talent for it, this program makes building a website stupidly simple. Thank you, Chris Maynard. He says it's www.coffeecup.com/designer. Yeah, I am horrible at designing websites, even the simple ones. It just looks terrible. So maybe one of these days I will have to get somebody to design a website just so I got something, I guess. I don't know. Good question. Mindy asks, Chris, with a built-in shopping cart, that's one of my hesitations. I don't want to pay $100 a month for a shopping cart that I'd never intend to use. So that's a very good question. I would love to know if that's it. Michael Flanagan, what's happening? Networking mastermind groups are a fantastic way to grow your business. You betcha. All right. And okay, Chris, response to Mindy. They have add-ons that do that. They have add-ons that do that too. Take a look at the offerings they have on the software tab. So there you go, coffeecup.com/designer. Good stuff. All right. So I'm going to end the screen share here, because now I'm just going to talk directly to you guys. All right. Let me tell you something exciting that happened. You have no idea how much I believe in seasonal selling at this point. I am hook, line, and sinker 1,000% sold on seasonal selling. I've now gone a complete cycle. Okay. I did miss Halloween last year, but I saw the potential. I tracked some items. Excuse me. I started with graduation, just dipped my toe in the water last year. We've done graduation this year. Back to school is where I really hit my stride last year. Can't wait for it this year. Made some big orders today. Got some big orders coming up very soon. I know where I'm going with back to school. And then it's just a repeat process. I got to get Halloween kind of nailed down, but you got if you want to do 4th of July, that's in there. There are just a ton of holidays constantly, or seasons, that come around and around and around. So once you go through the cycle, and that's what this year was. So like Mother's Day and Father's Day were just kind of testing periods for me, because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do and how the market was going to react. So I went, maybe a few hundred units deep instead of 1,000 units deep. So that might be deeper testing than you're going to do, but hey, you can do it with 20 units too. I don't care. Just understand what can be done with seasonal selling. So I've gone through a complete year now, a complete cycle, and I have seen some things that are so crystal clear to me, and I'm going to cover this more on Friday. I'm going to do a coaching group only, coaching group only Zoom. And I am going to get into detail on this stuff. But basically, after having gone through a full cycle, there are some very easy things that you see. And I've talked about the holiday arch before, and I've talked about seeing sales rank in advance and all that. And it's just come together, and it's there. It's been proven time after time after time. So what happened with Father's Day? Father's Day was almost a repeat of Mother's Day, which I kind of fell into just because of the products that I was carrying. They were applicable to Mother's Day. And then I took those same products and I said, okay, if it worked this well for Mother's Day, it's got to work for Father's Day. Guess what? It kicked butt. How much butt did it kick? Let me give you some hard, fast numbers. I probably should have pulled, and I can do it real quick. You guys give me just a few seconds here to punch up some numbers. All right, there's one. I only have to do 3, I promise. So it's going to be dead air just for a second, but I will get right back to you. 32 times 14.95. I'll tell you what I'm doing. So these are my overall sales figures. We basically took one product and changed prices on it several times. I should have had this ready, and I am so sorry. Just in case anyone wants to see what revenue figures versus profit figures can look like. And this is all going to be wholesale. All right, we got 37. Riveting, isn't it? I know you're sitting here watching me punch up numbers. This is terrible. All right, we got one more to do. That was 56. And if these numbers are slightly off because I'm just kind of pulling them off my page here, I do apologize. They should be accurate if I'm reading the numbers out of the right places. I had the profits, I just didn't have the sales figures. All right. Now we just got to add these three together. $433.55. All right, 21.77.90. Okay, here we go. So Father's Day. Took what I had learned on Mother's Day, and I applied it to Father's Day, and I looked at some of the data, and I said, wow, the data all looks the way it should look. I see the holiday arch. I see good rank in advance of the season. All the little pieces I've talked about here and there along the way, and I put it into action, and I bought a couple of different products to test. One I wasn't so sure about. One I was 99% sure of. The other one I was about 75. I shouldn't say I wasn't sure about it. I was about 75%. I was like, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a great one. All right, I hit it out of the park with the great one. I bombed on the one I thought was going to be good because there were just too many people selling it. But this was a $5 product. Okay, low price point. $5 product, and I started selling them at $14.95. Okay, so 15 bucks. And we sold 29 of them. And this was on June 16th, right? So Father's Day was June 20th, right? June 20th, I believe, maybe the 21st. I should probably know that. 21st. Okay, it was 21st. So on the 16th, now I let other people sell out. I was not the only one on the listing. I saw people, selling theirs at $11, $12, $13. I was like, I am not starting anywhere under 15, just not happening. So on June 16th, I said, all right, 15 bucks. I sold 29 units. Bam. All right, we need to up the price. $17. On the 17th, we sold 37 that day. And I went, wait a minute, we're not high enough. People are still dropping out of the game. And we've got too much time still left on this because 21st was a Sunday. The 20th was a Saturday. The 19th was Friday. The 18th is Thursday. And I'm thinking 2-day shipping delivered on a Saturday. 18th is going to be the big day. So on the 17th, we sold 37 units at $17, said up the price. And so we did. We upped the price to $20 on this $5 unit. And we sold between the 17th and 18th our remaining 56 units. And then we were out of stock. We blew through them. Everybody's out of stock. You go to Amazon right now, you're not going to see it. Nobody has them. Everybody blew through their stock. So overall, we went through 124 units. Overall, we went through 122 units because Amazon lost 2 units. I got to contact them about that. Numbers don't match up. And I saw that before the sale started. I had 96 in stock, commingled. I had 28 in stock that were stickered. And that the 96 that were in stock as commingled went to 94 before sales ever started. Never had a sale. So somehow they lost 2 units. So I got to track those down. But in those 3 days, 16th, 17th, 18th, we sold $2,177.90 worth of product, $21.80. Our profits on that were $798.66. So profits were $799, call it $800. Okay. So sales, $21.80, profit $800. We sold 29 units for a profit of $408. 37 units for a profit of 578 and 56 units for a profit of 833. Keep in mind, we only paid $5 a piece for these. So when people tell you there is no margin in wholesale, they're full of crap. Okay. There is margin in wholesale. There is especially margin in seasonal wholesale. You can't tell me that there's no money to be made. In 3 days, we made $800 just on basically looking at products going, this is going to be a winner. There's no doubt about it. And I told about 8 people about this. And you know how many of them went in on that product with me? They said, oh, no, I don't think so. I said, no. It's there. Look at it. It's there. And they're like, nah, I don't really think so. All right, that's cool. Out of stock. Okay. These things, now there were a couple of orders, I think that maybe got canceled or something, because we ended up having a couple come back in stock on like the 20th, and they sold then too. So they went out of stock. They came back in stock. I don't know if they were being shuffled around the warehouse, what happened. But we did have a couple of late sales that were kind of weird to me. But I believe those things would still be selling right now if somebody had just had them in stock. And so, yeah, Michael was one of them. Michael didn't want them. August, I threw them up to you. You didn't want them. Nobody wanted them. And so that was the good side. Now, the one that stunk, I lost 50 cents a unit. 96 units, we're going to lose about $50. Okay, so that's my stinker. Lost $50. The good one made 800. Was it worth the test? You betcha, all day long. And did I underbuy? You betcha. Sure did, no doubt about it. Did I watch suckers? And I'm going to say this with emphasis. I watched suckers sell those things too low, and I watched them all go down, and I laughed all the way because I know some of them jumped on the listing because I was on there that I didn't offer it to, because I've watched people follow me around on some of my wholesale stuff. So for those of you that are just reading my store and buying the same stuff I'm buying, learn to sell. You don't know how to sell as well as I do. Stop copying me, come up with your own method, and be better than me. That's just a little side note to those who are following me around a little too much. So you are not going to get ahead of me by copying what I do. You have to be better than I am. I will teach you to be at least as good as I am. Then you got to be smarter than me. Now, are some of you smarter than me? Absolutely. The ones that are copying me are not. That was not smart. You guys sold out at $11 and $12. Good try. You failed. Now, that being said, because yeah, I got a little chip on the shoulder over that one. But yeah, so we made a killing on these things, and there was more money to be made. And the guy that was smarter than me should have been making probably $25 a piece on them, maybe even 30. I don't know where the ceiling was. I honestly don't. Maybe 20 was the ceiling. Maybe I hit it perfectly. I don't think so though, because they're out of stock. So, that tells me that there was still demand and not enough supply. But that was Father's Day. And that was just a small sample of what I see coming next Father's Day and every season from here on out. I mean, it's just there. So back to school is coming up, right? Dude, I'm telling you, I'm already buying for back to school. I already see the trends for back to school. I see what's coming up. Mindy asked if I am bundling. I did not bundle for Father's Day. I went straight single units. I wanted to keep it easy, simple. By the way, you guys remember, maybe I made a post in Fast Turn Radio, said took me 29 minutes to pack 192 units commingled. Yeah, that was these. So that was for both sets, my dog and my winter. So if you just look at the winter, it took me 15 minutes to make $800. Just keep that in mind when you're thinking about wholesale and thinking about commingling. There's no effort involved. It's, got to have the effort up here, but man, all you got to do is, get on the website, get on the phone with your rep, whatever it is, order that stuff, get it in, turn around, get it shipped back out. I mean, commingling made it so easy. Ordering case packs so that it's easy. That's why the units are 96. That's because that's the quantities that came in. 24 to a master case. Excuse me, I am so sorry. 24 to a master case. I ordered 4 master cases. Boom, done. All right. That's it. There was nothing to it. I take one unit out, I scan it, I give it an MSKU, and I go, look, I got 96 of them. I didn't take them out of the box. I didn't do anything. I sent the little puppies off. I made sure that the outside of the box showed all the same SKUs. Amazon received them. Good to go. All right. Michael says we have huge back to school deals in our mastermind group that we are working, or yeah, we have a huge back to school deal our mastermind group is working on. Yes, sir, we do. And I'm telling you, I made a big buy today. I say a big buy, spent about $1,500. But I also got the wholesale source. Now that was retail, got the wholesale source, probably going to spend another $1,000 to $1,500 on that product, going deep on it. Then we got the stuff that I'm working on with the mastermind group. So back to your question, Mindy, was it bundled? No, Father's Day was single units. I didn't bother bundling, just didn't want to deal with it. Back to school, I will do a lot of bundling because I tested last year. I know where the money is. I know how to increase those margins and give the customers what they want and improve their experience and improve our bottom line. So yeah, I'm going to bundle the heck out of some back to school. So those are some of the things that I'm excited about. And guys, seasonal, year round. There is always a season on the horizon. I mean, right now, we are sitting at the end of Father's Day, less than a week ago, right? Just like 4 days ago. But we're looking dead at back to school. Oh, by the way, we're in the middle of summer. Okay, so if you bought swim trunks, swimsuits, water shoes, flip-flops, sandals, any kind of sprinklers, summertime toys, water balloons, the little knot tie thing that came out last year that was huge. I mean, there is so much. Summer is a season that has a huge potential. I bought a bunch of flip-flops back in February. They're selling extremely well right now. Already talking about the back to school, right around the corner after back to school, which is going to be your August into September. September is going to start the cold weather. It's not going to be in the South. South's still going to be 70, 80, 90 degrees possibly. But up north where Mike is, Michael Flanagan sitting up in Massachusetts, it's going to be chilly. So you're going to start the winter season, the throw blankets, the space heaters, any of that kind of stuff, slippers. That's going to start in September and go right into October with Halloween. That's going to take you into November with the Thanksgiving and the fall themes. And don't forget about teachers. You can do teachers back to school. They all have to decorate their rooms, and you want to do room decoration. Guys, the opportunities are endless. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's there. It is unbelievable. So Dale Selmeyer says, those balloons are fantastic. Amazing downside if you have to spend a lot of money for 50 or 100 balloons. You're done in seconds throwing them. Yeah, they came out with some new balloon thing. Like last year it was the tie knots. This year they got like fill 50 balloons at once. And there's always summertime stuff happening. So, keep that in mind. There's always a season, always a holiday coming up. Rob, would you go after high quality but generic backpacks for back to school? I have a great contact. Rob, I'm going to talk about this more in the coaching group. Personally, I would not. All right. I'll get into it in the coaching group, very in depth on Friday. I am not a big fan of, take it there. We'll talk about that. There's some information that, insiders get that there's always a little more going up here than what I give to the general public. So let's save that for Friday. We'll go in depth and we can discuss it. If you have a great contact, maybe there is something that can be worked out. You never know. Maybe worth a try, Marianne said, what time on Friday for the coaching group? I haven't really scheduled it. Let's do it 2:00. We'll do 2:00 on Friday. We're going to do a Friday afternoon, 2:00. I need to write that down so I don't forget. Hopefully people can make it. If not, they can catch the replay. But yeah, I want it to be a good one. I'm excited about this one. So 2 p.m. on Friday, the coaching group. We will have a coaching group only, kind of a brainstorming. It's going to be a recap. It's going to be a brainstorming. We've done some brainstorming sessions in the past, so it's going to be a combination of the two, and it's going to be just in depth what I've learned, and I am going to try to make it crystal clear to everybody exactly what I'm seeing. I'm going to show you guys some examples, and I'm going to take you through step by step exactly how I look at this stuff. Link to the Facebook group The coaching group or well, I'll give you the coach. The Fast Turn Radio is the public group. That is facebook.com/groups/Fast Turn Radio. That's the free public group. Now, all right, link to Friday Zoom will be in the coaching group. Yes, sir. Yeah. I will put the link to the coaching Zoom in the coaching group, and it will only be available there. That will be for coaching group members only. We're going to kick some butt. I'm going to bring some good stuff to you guys. But even so, hopefully you're inspired by what I've shared here. Did anyone run the ROI on that? What 2177.80? Actually, not ROI. What the profit margin is? So what's 800? What's 800 divided by 2180? That would be our margin. What's that? About 36.5% margin. That is freaking solid. That is good stuff right there. If your business ran at a 36% profit margin, you would be sky high. I mean, like I said, average is more around the 20%. So you're almost double that. That's what seasonal selling can do. Is it easy to hit that just with mundane, normal, everyday kitchen products, grocery? No, not really. That's not easy to do. Is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? No. Is it easy to do in seasonal? It's definitely much easier than it is the rest of the time. You get the right products at the right time. Know your competition. Know your audience. Know your customers. Dude, you can kill it with the seasonal stuff. So hopefully that's some inspiration. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I don't see any more questions. We're gonna just leave it there. 55 people showed up. So fist bump to everybody who showed up. Thank you guys so much. Mindy, hope you got some good stuff out of this. I know you're a numbers guy. That's why I was kind of excited to see you in the crowd. Hope you all have a great night, and hope this gives you truly some inspiration, something to shoot for. If you have any questions, ask them in the Fast Turn Radio group. It's not an active group. It's really not. It's where I just kind of post what's coming up. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. There are a lot of smart people roaming around in that group. It's just, I figure there are so many other groups out there. I don't try to make mine all that involved. Let other people work on making their groups great. I just try to make the information great. Honestly, I don't want the chit chat and 3-inch tape discussions. I've had too many of those. But if you have specific questions, anything you want to know more in depth about, let me know. I'll be happy to answer it. So, all right, Mindy. Yeah, Mindy said, I love your numbers. Look at it for insights and strategy. So good to know, Mindy. Thank you. And thank you, everybody else who came out. Good night, Diana, Cindy, everyone else. Have a great night. We'll see you next week. Fast Turn Radio. Later, guys.